and you can just your VM is in running state, and you can just able to connect. And make sure you need to have a password those username. Okay, it's there. Okay, fine. Yeah, so connect, and the VB and the password, and this is the password, and click OK, and click yes, and it is connecting. So the yesterday we deleted this Windows Server 2012 R2 virtual machine which we created, and now I just restore it using backup option from my vault. Okay, and this is that example for that, and this is the way whenever you lost or your VM or anything is crashed, and this is the way you can recover back again. So just whenever you just go down, just shut down it properly, and then you proceed. Continue. Okay, and so as per that, so today's agenda we are going to discuss about traffic manager. Okay, just it won't take much time. It's take exactly not more than hour. Okay, so traffic manager, and from this we are going to create web apps. So web apps 1 and web apps 2. Okay, and then after creating these two web app, we need to go ahead with the concept called traffic manager. Traffic manager. So these are the things we are going to create now. Now these two web app, why we this traffic managers required? This traffic manager will support only in v2. That is nothing but we have discussed various kinds of v1 and v2 are there. V1 is nothing but it is a classic model of we already discussed, and the v2 is nothing but it is a resource manager model. Okay, resource manager model. So these traffic manager will able to support only in v2. So now why we move on to this traffic manager, that we have a just discuss with a few pictorial representation. Assume that we have created a two web app. Both the web app are in the same availability zone, or we can say in a different availability zone. Both are in same web app I have created, and this web app is in East US and this is in Central US. Okay, so I can say a web app 1, web app 2. Okay, and these web app is from East US and this is from Central US. Okay, so now, and there are many users are there. Okay, there are a huge number of users are there. What happened suddenly? So all the user, they are accessing the same user same web app one alone. Web app one alone. Okay, all the user, they are accessing the same web app one alone. So what happened suddenly? Only there are very few requests or move on to web app 2. Okay, so what happened now? This web app 1 alone, it's get overhead due to huge number of requests. Okay, so now, so it's get overhead. In order to overcome this, in order to overcome this, we introduce a concept called traffic manager. And Azure we called as traffic manager, whereas in AWS they called as ELB, elastic load balancer, traffic manager. And it both are same. The traffic manager is nothing but it is used to distribute the traffic among these two web apps or from different availability zone or different availability region. So once if we just launch the traffic manager, and you could not share this corresponding IP of the particular web app to the user. You must share the domain name of the traffic manager. You must share the domain name of the traffic manager. You should not share this IP of the corresponding or the URL of the web app. You are supposed to share the domain name of the traffic manager. So all the user, they can able to access your web app 1 and web app 2 through the traffic manager. So these traffic managers ensures availability. These traffic manager ensures availability of your web application, whereas your auto scaling, yesterday we discussed about on auto scaling, right? The same diagram, 4 more instances will create and everything. These auto scaling ensures both availability and as well as scalability. And this is what the difference between the what is traffic manager and auto scaling. Okay, and just I move on to that. Uh, One second. Okay, so shall we start with this, and then so your VM is stopped now. So I don't want to just keep this VM as it is. Just now I'm deleting this VM. Click delete. So the moment you start clicking delete, it will deallocate all the resources. So as per that today's agenda, we need to create two web apps now. Okay, and remember, so whenever it is in the real-time scenario, both the web app having a same content, both the web app having a same content. Okay, in order to maximize the availability, okay, we created 2 or 3 more web app, and just from the different region or from the different availability zone, we just ensure the traffic manager will distribute the traffic among various the same web application from the different region. Okay, so it maximizes the availability. So it is deallocating now. So just let me proceed with creating a web apps. So creating a web app, all services, create a resource. Okay, create a resource, and web plus mobile from this web apps. Initially, okay. Why it's taking time for this? Okay. Create a resource and web plus mobile and web app. Okay. So now you can enter your web app name. So web app. Okay. Just note down the web app name. Web apps 1. Okay. Which is a free trial. And you can use the existing resource group also, RG web. You can use the existing resource group RG web. Okay. And the operating system is Windows, and choose the application service plan. Create new plan. So ASP1. So as we discussed, the web app 1 belongs to Central US. Okay, and the pricing tier, you know that, right? S1 standard only. Last time also we already discussed. So same pricing tier I proceed with. Just look at this. S1 standard. Yes, S1 standard, 4,917 rupees, and this is a 1 core of virtual machine, 1.75 GB of RAM, and 50 GB of storage, and custom domain, and up to 10 instances auto scale. Okay, and we will proceed with we will proceed with S1 standard, because the thing is that it supports traffic manager, whereas your B1 basic, it does not support traffic manager. So you are supposed to look at this whenever you are choosing a pricing tier. Based on the client requirement, you are supposed to choose the pricing tier, remember. Okay, so if there is a backup facility and everything is there, so you are supposed to choose. If they ask about to just choose a traffic manager or something else, you are supposed to be very cautious. Depends upon the client requirement, you are supposed to choose the application service plan. So beyond basic, it does not support the concept called traffic manager or some other things. So I proceed with traffic manager. So S1 standard, and click select. So now click OK. Okay, click OK, and then you just click the button called create. So it is, the deployment is under in progress now. So a deployment succeed, and go to the create resource and create a one more web app, and the same name you provide that, and using the existing resource group name, make sure RGWeb, remember, and then you choose the application service plan, create a new service plan, ASP2, and remember choose the location as East US. East US. Okay, and proceed with the same S1 standard. It supports auto scaling and everything, so proceed with S1 standard. Okay, select. Okay, so click create. So both the web apps are created, and the last one is still deployment is under in progress. Okay, go to all resources now and just check that your web app name. There are two web apps are there, and proceed with web app 1. So from this, yesterday we discussed, from this left hand side, just scroll down, and that is a thing called as application service editor. Application service editor. Application service editor, and click that. So it provides the in-browse editing experience for your app code. Okay, so just click go. As we already discussed, there are two web apps we have created, and once we just you click on that web apps and make sure your web app is working in the right condition or not in that web app, and this is the URL to access your web app. Okay, and your web app 1. So all the web app you are creating is nothing but it is considered by your web app name and then followed by Azure websites.net. And this is the way all your web app name followed by your Azure websites.net. And this is the way. So your web app is working successfully because it's executing the file called as hosting start.html by default page. Okay, and just so your web apps 2 and followed by Azure websites.net. Okay, so this is the way, so your application is running and everything. Okay, and now you can just proceed with from your left hand side, so application service editor, you can click on that and click the button called go, and there you can find the file called as hosting start.html, and just right click and delete it. Now you can just go ahead with this, and then you can just from this you can www root, you can just create a new file, just name it as index.html. Okay, and there you can just write the same HTML code, whatever the code you can write it. Even you can just write it for any web application also. Just I write a simple code. So h1 tag my web application 1. Okay, so now you can just automatically it is saved, so you no need to worry about that. Okay, and make sure the same thing is working or not. Check it once. Just go to the overview and the pages. Yes, so likewise go to that, and likewise go to the web application too, because as per that both web application having the same content, but we want to just know the differences, right? So which one is executing right now, so that I'm just providing a different page. Application service editor and click go. Okay, yes, so you can click that hosting star.html default page and right click it and delete, and just provide a file name. So index.html, and just so from that and the web application. Okay, so it is auto save. So web application 1 and web apps 2. Yes, both are running now. So now you can just find that, go to that, and then so now you can just as per that today's thing, we have created two web apps. One is in Central US and one is in East US. Okay, so now you can go ahead with this. Okay, now we are supposed to create a traffic manager now. Let me check. So all services, click. So just traffic manager. Yeah, traffic manager profile. Click on to that. Okay, so there is no traffic manager right now. We will proceed with create traffic manager profile. Click new. So create traffic manager profile. So it will ask you to just provide a traffic manager profile. The traffic manager profile I present TMBB. It's taking or not? No. TM web. Okay. So the traffic manager name is TM web apps. Okay. TM web apps. So now I proceed with, and it will ask you to just select the routing method. The routing method is nothing but it is like whether you're going to route it through performance or weighted or priority or graph geographic based. Okay, so which is geograph performance is nothing but based on your application performance it will choose. Okay, and weighted instance based on the application weightage it will choose, and priority it's based on the priority. Geographic is nothing but it is priority just whichever the application you set the maximum priority it will take that particular application. And geographic is nothing but you are accessing from this location and it will just forward or just route it to the nearest web application. That is what geographic. Okay, so I go ahead with performance, and that you can use you're supposed to make sure you're supposed to use the existing resource group RG web for all everything, because resource group is the one it is like a holds like a container, and it is a common for all the application you are just doing. Okay, the web application, the traffic manager and everything, and just you don't need to worry about this, it will automatically take. Okay, and click create, and takes a little time, and just wait a while. Okay, so now you can go ahead with this traffic manager, go to all resources, all resources, and we have created a web traffic manager, TM web apps. Okay, and from this, Okay, so from this you can go ahead with, and it provides, this is the DNS name for that TM web apps.traffic manager, and that is what we discussed, right? So you should not share the corresponding web app or name to the user. You are supposed to share the DNS name of the traffic manager. That's one thing. And and from this you can just, from the left hand side you can go ahead with click the thing called as endpoints. Okay, here it is there, endpoints. So click add. So from that, so we have created a traffic manager, but there is no relation between this traffic manager and web points, right? So I'm going to make a connection between this traffic manager and the web application through the concept called endpoints. So ask you Azure endpoint or external nested endpoint. So choose Azure endpoint, and name of the endpoint is EP1. Yes. EP1, and provide that this is a cloud service or application service lot and public IP address, and choose that the target resource type as application service. Yes, choose that your target resource type is application service, and your target resource, choose an app web service. So you are supposed to choose the web application. So here there is only two web application, it shows only two. If it is like a production account, it shows the huge number of resources over here, and proceed with web apps 1. Okay, and click OK. Now there is a one point is there, and this status is enabled, and again click add. Create endpoint name 2, and make sure it is the default, it will be Azure endpoint, and here the target source you are supposed to choose the application service, and the target resource you are supposed to choose the web app, that is web app 2 from East US. Click OK. And how we discussed about configuring all those things, right? Like started from that web apps and your VM. Likewise, it's same, it provides same thing. Okay, so the monitoring status is in online, and both status are in enabled, both EP1 and EP2, and it is checking the endpoint, the monitoring status. Yeah, both monitoring status are in online, and as well as the status is also enabled, and the type is Azure endpoint, and this location is, one is from Central US Web Application 1, and one is from East US Web Application 2. So now, as per the diagram, it need to distribute the traffic whenever the user access. It need to distribute the traffic to both the load web app 1 and web app 2. And so if that is load increase only, it will redirect. Let me try whether it is just, it will redirect to the both the things or not. So you should not access this web application route or something else. Just go to overview and click the domain name, DNS name of traffic manager. So you can just paste it and click enter. So it will redirect into the web application 2, and let me check whether it is. We have chosen the web application performance 1, right? So okay, let me check with the load testing or something else. Okay. Because whenever it is that there is any load, nothing is there, it will redirect it to that. And just wait a while to check. And this is a load impact is the nothing but it is one of the online load testing tool. So whenever just test creating anything else, just we can have most probably in company there will be a load testing, there will be something paid account will be there, so not to worry about that. And if it is not there, you can just go ahead with load impact, and it is one of the reputed online tool. There you can test it and you can have a report also, because these things will help you whenever, for example, if there is any load balancing issue or something else. So we have already tested, you can just provide a detailed report of this also, and it shows that how that load balancing is working and everything. Okay, whenever is there is any load increases, then only it will just show you. Okay, and this testing takes time. Let me wait. Because in AWS, what we will do, we will just log into the corresponding instance, because everything is Linux there. We will log into we will create a too easy to instance, not web application. We will proceed with instance itself, virtual machine. And from that virtual machine, we just log into that, and there is a Linux command called as test command is there. We will increase the command, and we will increase artificially, we will increase the CPU utilization. Stress hyphen CPU 100%, it will increase the 100% CPU. So automatically it will redirect it to the next one. So likewise we will do there, and it is based on that performance, just it will choose that. Okay, so it will just choose based on that, and whenever just you are trying, right, at the time just you go ahead with priority. Okay, at the time you go ahead with priority, and you can just provide a priority for the endpoints. Okay, provide a priority for the endpoint, any endpoint which is you provide the priority, and those endpoint will just execute it first. Okay, and you can change the priority, and based on the priority it will change, right? So that is what about the traffic manager. Okay, any doubt, guys?
No, Vijay.
Okay, fine. Dave, Archana, any doubts?
And
O-
no doubt, sir.
okay.
No, Vijay.
Okay, fine. So just I will provide an overview about what we have done. So first we created a one web app, and when the web app we chosen that S1 standard tier pricing tier you are supposed to choose. That is nothing but application service plan in that. So name the web app and choose the corresponding application service plan, and from that we chosen the location called Central US. Okay, then we have created a web apps 2, and from this web apps 2 we named it as web apps 2 over here, and from that you are supposed to choose the application service plan as same S1 standard tier, because that is the one it supports traffic manager and all those concepts. Okay, so there you choose the location called East US. Now you have created a traffic manager, and the traffic manager name is TM Web Apps, and from that you have created a concept called endpoints. Okay, and from this endpoints you are supposed to choose the application service instead of Azure or cloud service or something else. From that endpoint you supposed to map the particular web app which you created, web app which you created. Likewise, you are supposed to create one more endpoint and name the endpoint properly, and then from this endpoint you are supposed to provide a web apps 2 for that. Then you are supposed to, based on the method of routing, okay, it may be a performance or it may be a priority, it may be a geographic, based on that it will route the web app depends upon that, and that is what the role of traffic manager. And just I want to just 1 second. So we have created a traffic manager profile, and both the web app are in the different location. Okay, and this is from East US, and this endpoints is mapped to the corresponding web application. And make sure all the thing, the resource group, everything is common. Okay, and the resource group name is RG web. So okay, so whenever the user enters, the user enters whenever the user should not directly access, the user must direct access the traffic manager profile. Okay, through that traffic manager profile only the user will access. Once the traffic manager access the traffic manager profile, and these traffic manager will forward the user request will forward the user request to the endpoints of the particular web application. The traffic will be for the traffic manager profile will forward that to the endpoints based on the request or based on the routing method based on the routing method. The traffic manager will just analyze the endpoints and analyze the endpoint, then it will provide the available endpoint to the user. It will provide the available endpoint to the user. It will provide the available endpoint to the user. This was the step 2. Okay, the available endpoint to the user. And now step 3, now the user can able to access the traffic manager with the proper endpoints. Then the traffic manager will redirect to the corresponding web application. I repeat, and this is the logic behind how it's working the traffic manager I'm telling. Okay, and this provides a clear pictorial representation about how the traffic manager is working. First, the user will make a request to the traffic manager through the traffic manager DNS name. Okay, then through the routing method, based on that it will analyze the endpoint which are available for the particular time period. Those endpoint will be the redirected to the user. Okay, then the third time the user will make a request again to the traffic manager with the available endpoint. Then the corresponding endpoint of the web application will be redirected to the user. Is it clear? Any doubt? And guys, any doubts? And this is what about the clear picture about traffic manager profile.
No, Vijay.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah,
you got
Vijay.
something
Clear.
clear idea about this, right? Okay.
Ah, yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah, sure, sure. And okay, this is what that. And so from the next week, we will discuss about web application with SQL DB connection. Okay. And any doubts? Shall we wind up the class?
Okay, Vijay.
Yes, Vijay, no doubts regarding this
Yeah,
traffic manager.
fine. Yeah. Dave?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you, Aravind. Thank you, Archana. Thank you, Dave. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you.